Guys, I'm taking on an interesting topic today. I'm going to classify every single person. That's right, I'm going to use the word every because you should never use the word every, always, or everyone, but I'm going to do it. I think we can classify everyone in the audiophile industry, not counting consumers, into just 3 categories. What are they? And is it true? Guys, I'm Michael. Welcome back to the Greek Audio Geek. I'm Greek, I love audio, I'm kind of an audio geek. Today I'm going to classify and make a broad sweeping generalization into 3 categories because it's something you should never do, but I think it'll be fun and I'm going to do it anyway. It has really been an eye-opening experience for me these last several years as my channel has grown, the videos have gotten more elaborate in what I do in dealing with industry people, whether it be at shows, distributors, companies, retailers, and it is so much more messy, complicated, and amazing all at the same time than I ever thought it would be. It is really eye-opening, and it's also interesting to talk within others in the industry about others in the industry. So for those of you who really are just more on the consumer side or only deal with your retailer, you'd be really shocked. It's really complicated, I guess is the best way. And it's not really easy. The way I get gear in and the way I do this audiophile journey, as most of you know, I either purchase it outright and then I'll just turn around and sell it, take a loss, and try and bring in something else. I'll borrow something from a friend and then return it to them when I'm done. Or occasionally I will reach out to a distributor or a company if there's a product that I'm really interested in to see if I can listen to it and see what my thoughts are on it. Is it something that I want in my system? I also get a lot of inquiries from people who want me to do their stuff. I would say I turn down about 75% of them. It's not because I'm a snob or because I think I'm better than that. It's 2 things. A, this isn't a full-time job for me. I don't monetize this, so I have to do this in my spare time, so I can only take on so much gear. And B, I really want it to be something I'm passionate about, that I'm genuinely interested in. And again, it's the road less traveled. The last thing in the world this YouTube audience or this video world needs is another video on an Eversolo DAC. Guys, I couldn't care less about $699 DACs. There's nothing wrong with $699 DACs. But if anybody's sitting here telling you it's as good as my $10,000 stuff or it makes my ultra high-end nervous, guys, they're either deaf or they're lying to you, okay? So anyway, I'm digressing. I find it entertaining. It's also really interesting when you kind of get into the industry. I'm not saying I'm in the industry, but I hear more stuff now than I did before. Who as reviewers and the system are, for lack of a better word, on the take or what they require to write reviews or how that whole thing works. And there are a lot of good ones out there, a lot of good ones, don't get me wrong, but it's really eye-opening to see how much of a disruptor I think the ability for a nobody like me to do videos on my personal journey and to open up the floodgates, if you will, from those that used to be the gatekeepers in the old world, that they would decide what we could read about. They would decide what we could know about and what we were allowed to discuss. And I think the advent of forums and Facebook groups and all these YouTube people that do videos is nothing but a benefit to the consumer. I always say this asterisk though. If somebody is always saying they're looking out for you, they're not, okay? The people who are saying that the most and the loudest are the people that have the most to gain in influencing your opinion, generally speaking. Guys, I don't sell anything. I don't offer any services. I don't care if you buy anything I talk about. I'm not trying to sell my setup services or any gear or anything like that. I don't monetize this channel. I've never received a penny for anything I've done. So I'm just here sharing with you my love and my passion. But I digress because now I really want to go back to what are those 3 types of people. It's really interesting to see. I never realized how many huge egos there were in this industry. Maybe I was naive, maybe it's a bigger collection in this industry than other industries, I don't know. But whether it be some companies or some distributors or some retailers, they really are, and guys, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect whether I like them or not or how I do business, but it's really interesting to see how they really think what they're offering or what they're doing is the best. Everything else is beneath them. You know, sometimes even reviewers, oh God, especially some reviewers, they'll come in, do you know who I am as a reviewer? And if you want me to review this, you need to send me 2 of these and you're gonna let me keep it for free and you're gonna buy X amount of advertisement or something like that. And I wanna be clear, guys, I put a lot of hard work into this channel. There are people out there that put even 100 times more hard work than I do. Everybody deserves to be compensated for their time and effort. Just be upfront and transparent about it. Okay, that's my only caveat. But anyway, it's been really interesting when you talk to some of these people about how every other design is bad or every other retailer doesn't have a clue. And frankly, there are a lot of really bad retailers out there. And I'll tell you why in a minute. And or distributors. Oh man, some of these distributors, they are, and again, there's both sides. I'll get to that in a minute. They really make it so difficult to even deal with them that you don't even want to check out the product that they're representing. Again, this is a side job for me. I don't need to put up with crap when I do this. I don't get paid for it. It's not worth it. So it was really eye-opening for me, I think more so on the reviewer side, to see how sensitive they are and how thin-skinned they are and their egos. And I'm going to use a perfect example. One of the very first videos I ever did was on a Past Labs integrated. I realized in that video that although it was a fantastic quality unit, a lot of people love Past Labs. Class A solid state electronics is not a sound that I'm particularly enthralled with. I find it boring. But I was very clear in that, and I said, although it wasn't necessarily my cup of tea, here's what it did right, here's who would like it. Many people do, you gotta check it out. And in the subject line, I said, an honest review of Past Labs. And there was this one reviewer, he writes, I think Positive Feedback or one of those magazines. Oh man, first post I ever posted with the video. For years, this guy has been a complete and utter jerk to me. He was so offended. He was a reviewer that wrote in print that he was so offended that I used the word honest, that this was a slight against every reviewer. And it was like, really? How old are we? So that was a really big eye-opening for me. Let's talk about the next one now. The next one, type 2, I'm categorizing as useless. And this is both on the company side, the distributor side, all three, company, distributor, and retailer. And this was really, I never realized how important the distributor was for the end consumer in a role that the end consumer never sees or rarely sees. And it was really eye-opening for me to see that and learn how much a distributor can support and help a company grow in the US or do well in the US or whatever country they're doing it for. How they need to support the stores and the retail more than just sitting there and taking an order. How they bring in stuff and make service and support available to the end consumer. Guys, a distributor is a really, really important role. And what I've learned is that I would say more so on the distributor side than the company side. I think most of the companies, this is all personal opinion, guys. I'm not saying any of this is right or true, it's just my observations. I think more on the company sides, their thinking is that's the role of the distributor. And they're busy making product or repairing product, and they're not always willing to be consumer facing. I think that's short-sighted. I think that's to their detriment. I always highlight the companies that are very good with consumers, and I always shout them out in a good way. But the distributor role, and I'm going to give you a perfect example. There are distributors who you can email them and call them multiple times. they will just never, ever respond. And I think there's two types. There's the, and I'm not railing on distributors. It's just such a huge role. I think there's the type that are hobbyists that do this out of their basement, that they just want to sit back and take orders. And if retailers have stock, or if retailers get the support that they need to help promote and market the brands, then it's up to the retailer. They're not really in it for the work side of it, the business side of it. And then I think that there is the more business-oriented distributor who have some really cool brands who are just absolutely either jerks to deal with, or again, they won't respond to 3-4 emails. They won't respond to calls. And as somebody who puts myself in the view of a consumer, I would say if they're not even responding to me or someone else like that, is that how they operate with everybody? And I always wonder why the companies don't realize how useless some of these distributors are. And these distributors, and a lot of these companies are really fantastic product, that if these distributors actually marketed or supported or actually even responded to inquiries, that these brands could grow. And I think the brands have hurt themselves in the US market with going with some of these bigger name distributors who are useless. And of course, there's always the useless retailer side who isn't really there to answer the questions for you, is only trying to sell you what's on their floor, and is one of these people who doesn't understand it's a personal journey and they just want to sell you what they want to sell you. So again, I'm not attacking any of these people. There are both sides to every type, and I'm going to get to the third one and my favorite one last. But I'm really still shocked even today about how fantastic or useless a distributor can be, and how many of the useless ones are. And it's interesting because when you talk about it with others, there's a common theme around who the useless ones are. And they can be useless because they just don't support the retailers, or they could be useless because they're just too much of a jerk to deal with, and it makes you not even want to touch the brand. So let's go to the last, my favorite. I'm saving the best for last. All right, guys, the third and final is my favorite. Now that I got that negativity out of the way, although I don't think it's negative, I think it's just kind of talking about what the truth is, what we all know, what we're all talking about. The third is my favorite, and I'm labeling them the passionate. I love these guys and gals. They are amazing. They are there's one PR person I'm working with. She is phenomenal in supporting and promoting her brands. She's always responsive. There are distributors that I work with when I try and want to explore product or try product. They're responsive. They will do whatever they can. By the way, guys, I don't want to confuse the useless with the passionate, in that it's totally cool that a distributor doesn't want their product out there for review, or they don't want to send their product out there for review. But at least respond and say no. Because if you're not responding on that, what else are you not responding on from an end consumer point of view? So let's go back now to the passionate. These are people who are in the press, who love what they do and truly spend hours on trying to bring you great quality content and stuff that they believe in, and helping the companies. And I love that. I love seeing these companies, especially these more boutique companies, these high-end companies that are really passionate about their product, that love the consumers and audiophiles and the journey, and the distributors that really, it's one distributor I work with, I'm very fond of him. He's phenomenal. They got great products. They really try and do right by their dealers, and they support their retailers, and they're at the shows, busting their butt, letting people see what's out there. These guys and gals are awesome, and they make everything else worth it. When you talk to them, they're infectious about the audio world and the art, and they just want to talk shop with you, and they want you to find stuff you love, even if it's not their thing. They're respectful. Guys, they are awesome. And it's interesting because I'm seeing a divide. I'm seeing a divide of, I think, a lot of the younger ones. I think as a lot of the old guard is retiring and filtering out, a lot of the newer ones, and I'm not pretending I'm a spring chicken here, I think are more of the passionate type, are more in it for the love, that are really trying to bring in new people into the audio world and new types, and they really want to be embracing of what people hear and what they like. And it is just so infectious. They make it easy for me to try stuff, to talk to you about, or find out if I like it, and they're supportive. Because at the end of the day, these companies and these distributors and these retailers directly, we keep saying, oh, what's the future of audio world? What's the future of audiophiles? Is it dying? Well, if it's dying, it's because of the distributors and the companies and the retailers. They're the ones who are in direct control of our future. I'm going to give you a perfect example. At the Florida Audio Expo, when I hear about all the different groups of people that they're reaching out to bring into the show, to bring into audio, to start their journey, these younger people or these newer people and these families into this journey of hi-fi audio. And guys, I'm not saying they need to spend $40,000 on a pair of Tobian speakers or $20,000 on a pair of Clarisis Piccolos. They may only spend $2,500 or $5,000 on their starter system. That's okay. They love it. They're passionate about it. They're going to grow into the hobby. If the companies and the distributors treat them right and the retailers right, the retailers are going to have customers for life. The companies are going to have people that are going to grow up and buy more of their stuff. And it is just exactly, my personal opinion, what this hobby needs. So I'm ending this on a positive note. I am really excited about the passionates that I see in this industry. I love going to the shows. I love meeting these people. Frankly, the people, I'm even okay with the egotistical. I got no problem with them. But for the useless people, I don't need them in my life. I don't need to explore their products. I hope that those products that are really good will find new distributors to the benefit of you and me as end consumers and to the benefit of the future of those companies. But again, it's true in every industry. It's not unique to this. Focus on the positive. Let's love and embrace and grow this hobby for so many people and so many future generations. And guys, just enjoy the music. Stop arguing on the forums. Stop trying to tell people and lecture them what they can or can't hear. Just be nice. Just be nice. Be one of the passionates. Be one of the positive passionates. There you go. I'm gonna change that as not just passionate, because you can be a passionate jerk. Let's be a positive passionate. And that's what I want to end with on this note today. I look forward to seeing you in the next videos. Thanks, guys. I'm the Greek Audio Geek, and I approve of this message. Oppa!